This video is sponsored by Bellroy. I spend a lot of time at my desk. Getting work done and, more often, not getting work done are both done at my desk. I've learned over a long period of time that there are certain things that I've done or do that made me enjoy being at my desk, even if it's a task I don't necessarily want to do. Being organized and having everything organized in a way that makes sense for me is something that I just found very satisfying, and a lot of people seem to find a bit of interest in this sort of thing in general. So I wanted to share that in a video and hopefully inspire or give you some sort of idea of something you might like to try for yourself. This is how I keep my desk organized. But first, if you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Here we talk about minimalism, frugal living, tech, and things of that nature. So if that sounds good to you and you end up liking the video, be sure to like and please missile dropkick the subscribe button. Let's get started. I'll quickly mention that this won't be a desk tour and I really won't get into the specifics of what I have, as I'll be doing an updated desk tour and maybe an overall office tour sometime in the future. Cable management. Having neatly managed cables is arguably the most effective way to keep my desk looking clean and minimal, thus keeping me a bit more satisfied here. I truly dislike working in a space that looks or just feels unorganized. And I would say this works hand in hand with digital minimalism as a whole, because it extends past me decluttering digitally, but also having my physical workspace more intentional, visibly appealing in an area I spend a lot of time. Since this is a standing desk, it has its own cable, as well as one for my monitor and my entertainment rectangle I have mounted underneath. To get these all contained as compact as possible, I started by using this mesh tubing, then tucking all the excess slack underneath and tying it with a string. And as for the monitor, I use the same mesh tubing as well. This is probably the biggest difference maker in terms of making my workspace a place I don't mind being, even if it's something that doesn't help me practically. Not having to worry about moving wires or having them be in the way is just really nice. It's far from perfect, and there are a million people out there who do this way better than me, but for now, this works for me and I'm happy with it. Having a tech kit. I made an entire video on this thing and how it's always on my desk whether I'm at home or at work. It's basically a simple tech organizer that has all of my essentials like my hard drives, wireless mouse, and chargers. And since this desk doesn't have any drawers, and I actually don't have any in this room at all, this sort of fills that role. And the fact that I bring all this stuff with me to work anyways, to just pack it up when I'm done using it and throw it into my backpack. This helps me keep my desk a little bit decluttered and organized because I simply keep it in front of me or a little bit off to the side and grab things as I need. And being able to take what I need and just putting it away out of sight always only keeps what I'm using and need directly in front of me. Now just for a minute, I want to talk about today's sponsor, my longtime friends at Bellroy. Following the theme of keeping my desk and my workspaces organized is the Tokyo Folio. I've showed this before in the past, but basically it's this compact high quality case for my iPad and notebook, as well as some pockets where I keep my hard drive or chargers. This is something I often have on my desk within reach, but 100% of the time when I'm out and about. It's made pretty durable and has water resistant exterior to protect my iPad and whatever else I have inside. It's designed to be a really convenient sort of workstation with a small footprint, and that's what it's managed to be for me during the times I want to travel and work extra light. I have a link in the description box that includes a discount code on Bellroy's website if you're interested. Thanks again to Bellroy for sponsoring this video. Arranged based on use. Something I started to pay a little bit more attention to as of late is the actual arrangement of the things on or around my desk, and some of the things I need while I'm sitting at my desk. For example, I like putting my keyboard away and off my desk when I'm done using it, and for a long time, I was keeping it stored away and completely out of sight. When I would want to sit down and do some work on my desk, knowing I'd have to go find my keyboard and take it out of wherever it was just created a little bit more resistance that was annoying. So instead, I decided to keep it on the bookshelf behind my desk, and it honestly doesn't even look that out of place. Not to mention, I don't even have to get out of the chair to get it. Another example is the few notebooks I keep on the lamp right next to my desk. Sometimes scribbling in here gets the creativity flowing. I definitely wouldn't say there's a specific template to follow here, because obviously all of our desks and preferences look a lot different. It's just about having things in places that make sense. Easy and practical to get to with little resistance. Avoid visual clutter. Now, would this really be a video of mine if I didn't talk about the importance of managing visual clutter? Whereas I used to want to just have the least amount of things possible on or around my desk, I've changed my opinion on that a bit. I think as long as I find a sweet spot of things that don't distract me or feel in the way or out of place, they can make me enjoy being at my desk more, which ultimately is the goal. One of the simplest, lowest effort, but most effective things is just to have a simple wallpaper. I used to rotate wallpapers fairly often and always found myself coming back to the same sort of designs. And I keep that consistent across all my devices. And by the way, this wallpaper is free to download. I'll have a link for that in the description box. And something else I do to manage the clutter is utilize every space, every square inch that I can. Under the desk mounting and only keeping what is visually pleasing or inspiring to me in sight is the overall goal with this. Like I said, the ultimate goal is to enjoy spending time at my desk. Like I said, the ultimate goal is to enjoy spending time where I'm working. The daily reset. I try to do this with pretty much every area where I'm using things that I have, but my desk is one area I never slack with this. Everything that I use at my desk has a dedicated home. And when I'm done working there, everything is returned to that position with no exceptions. This means my mouse goes back in my tech kit, keyboard goes back in its place, and I return my backpack from the back of my chair to the closet where it's stored. Maybe this is sort of a psychological thing where I feel like I can get more work done if I'm starting in a fresh workspace. Who knows? Doing these things keeps the task of tidying to a minimum because it's never piling up. Having this daily reset helps me get into the headspace I need to when it's time to begin and finish my work and get completely lost in it, which is the way I get the most done and, more importantly, enjoy it the most. This is definitely a subject where I think everyone has a unique thing that they do to keep their space organized. So I'd like to hear specifically some things you do down in the comments. Anyways, as always, I appreciate the time you spent here and I appreciate you watching. If you did like this video and you like this type of content, be sure to like and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you next time.